Straight to a Fox News alert. In the wake of the Boulder, Colorado terror attack, President Trump signing a sweeping order restricting travel to the United States from nearly 20 countries.
So nationals from 12 countries, including Afghanistan, Iran, Somalia, Libya, Yemen, are banned. Individuals from 7 more, including Venezuela and Cuba, face partial travel restrictions. The White House says the move protects the homeland since those countries are high risk for terrorism, visa abuse, and they fail to share security information.
The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed. And likewise, new countries can be added as threats emerge around the world. But we will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe.
So the president says that the order is a direct result of the anti-Semitic terror attack in Boulder. He was considering signing it beforehand, but Sunday's assault put it in motion.
Yep, and this morning, the Boulder terrorist suspect, Mohammed Salman, is due in state court. 16 counts he's facing of attempted first-degree murder. It comes after a U.S. district judge in Colorado issued an order temporarily blocking the deportation of his wife and 5 kids.
That judge appointed by Joe Biden. The family's lawyer comparing the Trump administration's attempts to, quote, the methods of Nazi Germany.
So it comes after a dozen people were hurt at a march calling for the release of the Israeli hostages. I think this is just a fascinating move by the president. Something has to be done. There used to be a program back after 9/11 called End Sears. It was created actually by the now Attorney General from Kansas. And essentially this program, anytime somebody overstayed a visa and they were from an at-risk country, it would send a notification to all the local cops to go get this person and bring them into custody.
What happened to that program? Do you know?
Barack Obama got rid of it because a lot of these civil rights groups, a lot of these Islamist groups called and they said it was too discriminatory. And now this guy, if that program was put in place, was still in place, it would have alerted the local cops, and him and his family would be in custody today. Unfortunately, they got rid of it because of wokeness, and now as a result, you got people that were set on fire.
Well, I mean, he hates America. He's yelling free Palestine. He's setting people on fire. Y'all saw how big that flame was, shooting it at innocent people. One of them was an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor. And now they're all fighting for their lives. Some of them are still in the hospital. One lady was severely burned. He has a wife and he has 5 kids. He said he wanted to wait till his oldest, who's 18, the others are minors, could go to college or could graduate high school, actually. Well, he wasn't thinking about his family. You know, if you're here illegally and you commit a crime, you're going to be on police's radar. You're going to be kicked out of the country, and that's what Donald Trump is trying to do. It's common sense. But then you have this liberal judge who says, hold on, we've got to do due process. But this man put innocent lives at risk and his family at risk by doing this.
I like the move. I do think you have to have some scrutiny because I'll give you an example. Luigi Mangione, let's say he was a foreigner. He comes in, he executes the CEO, Brian Thompson. There's no indication that his family is as deranged as him. So I just think immediately the family gets brought in for full investigation because this is terror. This is foreign terror. Here's Ken Cuccinelli, former acting deputy DHS secretary.
The big struggle for the most aggressive administration, President Trump's second administration, on dealing with this problem, their biggest impediment, there are 2. One is just logistics and building the pipeline big enough to find, catch, and remove these people. But the other is the courts. And there's so much due process in place. And to me and so many other Americans, if you break into this country effectively, if you break our laws to be here, you shouldn't get that benefit on the way out. And that's really slowing the president down, despite the fact that we right now, have the most aggressive administration since 9/11 in removing folks like this, especially the ones who present even possible national security threats.
I think to Brian's point, I guess the pushback I would say on that is that no one is saying right now that it's a criminal prosecution against the family. What they're saying is that you've already overstayed your visa anyway. You're not here legally.
They're here
so you
illegally.
Yeah.
If they're here
so
illegally,
is the family too?
Mangione's family, they're Americans. But this is a family, I assume,
Right.
since they were arrested and President Trump's deporting them, they're not here legally.
No, I understand.
They came with their dad.
I'm just saying this. A lot of times you have crazy people in your family start committing crimes. Next thing you know, you don't want to get in trouble. But I know what you're saying about expedited removal, because you got to figure, we don't know their status, but you got to figure if the dad has already overstayed their visa, he brought his family, you got to figure they did it too.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.